I realized something just now. I was snuggling with my dog. I thought it was worth sharing. I know we all love our pets. People seem to especially love their dogs and seem to especially want to replace their painful human relationships with canines. And something about that has always rubbed me wrong, which is unusual for me because I usually just am fine with people just doing their thing. I usually am the first adopter, like, of, somebody's, well, not usually, I always am. I'm the first cheerleader. I'm like, can you tell me how you want it to be, man? And I'm right there, I got you. I got the pom-poms and everything. I literally don't care what it is. If you tell me that's what you want, I want it for you. I got your back. I'm going to help you. I'm going to, rah, rah, rah you. Seriously, because I don't think I have even a tiny bit of a right to tell anybody how to live. So if that's how somebody says they want to live, I'm down with it. So it's kind of surprising me that I was kind of a little pissy about it, Well, usually what that means, and I'm trying to get to the point where I remember this, but it's hard for me to think of myself in terms of anything other than just my big little dorky self, So, I've sort of trained my brain to do something unusual, and I'm having a hard time adapting to the fact that my brain is being unusual because I'm very much just used to thinking of myself and my brain as being just very ordinary. So, anyway, but what I asked my brain to do was, I sort of told my brain, okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to find some fucking solutions. That's what we're going to do, because this shit's intolerable. So we are going to find some solutions. We're going to start reverse engineering some shit, and we're just going to keep reverse engineering until we get it solved, because this is not okay. I'm losing my bond with my kids and losing my self-respect. It's not okay. So anyway, so the thing about self-respect, really quick before I go on to the canines, because I've been trying to say this, is that I'm just such an idiot. Okay. The thing is this, is that I need to just make a video entitled Self-Respect, because this is what I figured out. This kind of sounds so stupid, especially this way, because I don't ever say anything beautifully. Why would I? Because I'm just a big spaz, but that's who I am. So listen, this is the thing. With these two words put together in that order and applied to your life, you can have anything that you want. You can go anywhere you want. You can live any life you want to live. Those are the only words you need. Self-respect. Period. End of story, end of subject. You cannot fail if you have self-respect, because you will take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself takes care of you. That's all there is to it. When you respect yourself, you respect others. And when you respect others, people like you and they cooperate with you. It's just the world opens up for you. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter who you go to bed with. None of that matters. If you are a good person, and you're decent and you have integrity and you play by the rules, and you're straight up and you don't, betray. But the funny thing is that that's all people do anymore. So I can't figure out why everybody's so surprised that everything sucks. I mean, seriously, people are shiesty as hell, including me, at one time. And I'm not going to rule out the possibility that I'm doing shiesty shit, because no matter how diligent I may be, I know I have blind spots because I have identified a whole bunch of them. Okay, so I'm still expecting to find a lot more lurking around corners. But for now, what I'm saying is that, and I catch myself going down far, like way down. I mean, like I understand morality on like Martin Luther King Jr.'s level, and that freaks me out. No, like, like all the way. Jesus, Buddha makes perfect sense to me. I'm like, what the hell? Because in your absence of any ill will, it just all works out. Really, it's just that simple. When you have self-respect, you treat yourself with respect, then you honor yourself. You take care of your body, you honor your decisions, and therefore you build a life that makes sense to you and that you can honor and that you can live comfortably. If you build a life based on lies or not honoring yourself, eventually you won't be able to live it anymore. and you'll say, fuck it. You'll leave. You'll destroy your family, embarrass yourself, whatever you do. We all do different shit. The fact that I was able to keep my shit together just by the grace of the collective or something, and just white knuckling it, man. That I didn't skid all the way off the road. I have to say is the reason why I'm making this video right now, because I'm so profoundly grateful, because I really don't think I saved myself, so I'm thanking you. I believe it is the collective energy, the strength of the collective energy, that provided me some backup. And I don't know why that is. I don't care. I mean, I've had people's backs my whole life. Literally, I've never, as far as I know, I've never passed up an opportunity to help, to have somebody's back, and just love them just fiercely and unconditionally, because that's what I do. I mean, just everybody. I don't care who you are. And I honestly don't care what you've done or what you haven't done. I love you just the way you are, because, because we reflect, basically, that this is the thing is, we project our own consciousness onto everything that we see. And so if I have no ill will, then I can't pull ill will out of others. And so I just see people as, this has gotten me in a lot of trouble, and I'm really thankful that I, was open and available when that message came through, that that it was a good thing that I see people as pure, because I used to think it was a terrible thing. Well, because I was just in a negative headspace, and that's the way it works. It's very strange. Literally, all you have to do is, once you have self-respect, and you remove ill will, then you just start this process of flipping everything. I don't know why that is, but it's like you have to flip everything. I tell my kids, flip that bitch. If they're having a bad day, flip that bitch. You're not having a bad day. You're having a great day. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but I swear to God, it has worked so many times for me, where I've literally just flipped something right upside down because I didn't like the way it felt. And the other side was just so much more pleasant. And the next thing I knew, it was actually, I couldn't, that's where we were. So I started applying that to all kinds of things. I couldn't get along with my estranged husband because he drives me bonkers, but he doesn't drive me bonkers anymore, because I just started treating him as if, as I would want him to treat me. I do that 100% of the time, but that's when my intention changed to that, everything between us changed. Now, the uncomfortable thing is that he's trying to do the, tentacle thing, and, no, don't go, because I've, been telling him for years and years and years, but he doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to hear me. And, my son's 16, and I have no idea where I'm going to go, because I don't know where I'm needed. I just keep saying that. I don't know where I'm going to be. It's not like I'm saying necessarily, well, I'd bounce if I didn't have to, because, it's my companion. I care very much about him, but he's my family. But the thing is that I have to go where my soul calls me to, tells me to go, basically, because that's the thing. That's the bottom line. And I'm going to tell you the thing about the canines, as she's going to breathe bad breath in my face, is that, Shelby, you're not helping. Damn it. Shelby messed me up. Okay, let me show you the thing about the canines really quick, and then maybe I'll remember what I was about to say. So, okay. So this is very unprofessional, but we don't care, because if I stop, I'll forget to start again. Okay, so this is the thing. I'll forget where I was. And the reason that happens, just so you know, is because this is terrifying shit that nobody wants to talk about. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sitting in my bedroom in the dark. My door's locked. Not because I'm afraid somebody's going to come busting in, like shoot me or something, but because we've trained ourselves to lie and not tell the truth, and to not tell our truth, and to hide our true motives and our true feelings for everybody else's sake. And so then we train people how to treat us. We teach them how to treat us, and then we say we're victims, but we're not. Nobody can victimize you. So what we have to do is we have to, each of us have to become sovereign human beings again. Because if we don't, then we will continue to decline, because you cannot evolve from this position. You just can't. We won't evolve. We will stop caring for our young. We almost have entirely anyway. We're so crossed up and confused that we're not following our own, we're not living according to our own best interests. We're living literally against. So this is the thing. I have some experience with this. That's all I'm saying. I've been there. I really have. Not in the not too distant past. I was self-destructive. We're self-destructive. I was going to destroy myself. We're going to destroy ourselves. We really are. We're sliding off a cliff. And I think there are a lot of people that think that we're already too far gone, but I don't think that at all. Because I know that within 6 months, I felt completely different, and everything in my life was different. And nothing had changed, except the way that I looked at it. I swear to God, it's so trite, but it's so true. I just, I was so determined that I was going to figure out how to be happy again, like, I was when I was a kid. That I was going to find my way back to that. And as I worked my way back to that, and that was my consciousness, I started to see the world the way that I would have, as a kid. And as a kid on the playground, and if some shit was going down, we all worked together, like, I lived on the streets, I was down there all the time and slept down there sometimes and bounced around couch surfing and stuff because I couldn't get along with my dad to save my life. And when I was like 13 or 14, so the Grand River Task Force knocked on our door, and they quit drinking, and I stayed home, which was fabulous. I'm sure I've told that story somewhere else, so I'm not going to tell it again. But the point is just this. Oh, okay. This is the deal. We're literally all just fucking assholes. That's it. It's that simple. We're being a bunch of assholes. And the reason is because we're pissed off, and we're unhappy, and we're miserable, because we've built lives the way we were told. And we're all uncomfortable. You can't live a life with constant discomfort, something rubbing up against you and shit. No, your nerve endings you'll wear off all your telomeres and you'll die early. That's what we're doing to ourselves. So, like, I'm always teasing the kids that I'm going to write a fiction short story, which I may yet, but how about it? Maybe I will. Maybe somebody else will. Here's a story idea, because I have all these other things apparently that I want to do. I'd love to read it though. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just start sharing all my book ideas, because I've been writing down the business ideas. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing, because I don't want them. I mean, that sounds really shitty, but like, I know my limitations. I'm an artist. I'm a spaz. I'm a people person. Like, I want to go meet some people. I don't want to be stuck to this stuff, and I have all these ideas, and I just think maybe they're not mine. Well, no, I know they're not mine. So I'm just gonna start sharing them, because as soon as I told the universe, yeah, I'm not cool with this, it started going, oh, okay, then we could try this. Okay, well, then we could try that. And I'm going, okay. Okay, so anyway, so I was going to give you an idea, but I just talked myself out of it. No, I didn't talk myself out of it. I just can't remember what it was. Anyway, it's just this. So we're assholes. That's what I was saying, right? I got to be assholes because when we were kids, we were told, at least I was, when I could cry and when I could play, and I think the crying thing is the thing that really fucked me up. Like, things like that, like, that happened to all of us to one extent or another, where we had to walk on eggshells, or we had to cater to somebody's mood or whatever. Well, this is the thing, and remember, it's all relative. So each of us, our experience is ours uniquely, and it matters as much to us as anybody's does to them. So let's just throw all that shit out the window. There's no most or more or better or less or any of that crap. It's all relative. I mean, it's just fucking ignorant to say anything else. I've had it worse. How can you have it worse? We're entirely separate beings with entirely separate energetic bodies with entirely different experiences. You can't compare those things. I don't know where we ever got the idea that you can, because you can't. And Einstein was trying to say, yo, hello, different time, different space, different, entirely different experience. We just can't judge. And if you think of the implications of that for a minute, we have a lot of of wonderful, amazing, joyful experiences coming because we get to make a lot of things right. That's the way that I see it. Is I know that sounds kind of crazy. Okay, but I was like this when I was a little girl too, and sometimes it didn't go necessarily really well. But that's because I think I had to learn what it was. I had to learn how to use it. Like when I was in, I think, fourth grade, our cats had babies at the same time. I think we had two of them. I had a whole bunch of pets. And crazy. It was a very crazy house. A whole bunch of adults, a whole bunch of kids, everybody running around everywhere. As far as I know, nobody was working. It was just crazy. But yeah, we had two cats, and they had babies at the same time. And one of the babies was the runt of like both litters and didn't have a skull. And my dad was going to take it and drown it in the river. We lived on a river, which was weird because I'd grown up in Seattle. But my mom's best friend was shagging the landlord, and so we got to go live down there. And until they broke up, of course, or until she and my mom got in a fight. I can't remember. But both those things happened, so I don't know. But anyway, and then it was one of those move in the middle of the night, which we did all the time. My brother and sister stayed behind in foster care, so they were in Oregon, which was weird. And I was an only child, which was kind of weird. And then it was really weird the first time my parents got in a fight, and I realized I had to call the police. That was really weird. It's one of those really weird moments. Like, wait, whoa, with me? So my brother and sister were older, 7 and 6 years older, and so they would always call, you know. But it was my turn. That was not good. Anyway, so uh, he was gonna drown the cat, and I flipped out. I can't even believe they let me hear that because I would freak out if they killed spiders or anything. I freaked the fuck out. I screamed and cried and wailed. There was absolutely no way anybody was going to be drowning that cat. Literally, they'd had to drown me too. So they said that I could keep it. And they said, this is not a good idea. This cat is not going to survive. Okay. So I took the cat in my bedroom and I put a sign on the door and I took care of that kitten, It's a cat kitten. Fed it with a dropper. I don't remember a whole lot from my childhood, but I remember feeding that cat from a dropper. I had a boyfriend, which is weird for fourth grade. I raised a whole bunch of kids. I'm like, fourth grade? The entire year I had a boyfriend. In fact, he went on a field trip and broke up with me for a day to go out with this really tall girl. I don't know why. They were sitting together, well, he was a year older, and they were together on this field trip, and he just decided he wanted to go out with her. I thought I was going to die. I literally got physically sick. I couldn't go to school the next day. It was terrible. And then I don't think I did. I was really honestly sick, but he came over after school because he lived right across the street, and there were only 3 houses or 4 houses, 4 houses on that street, and there were 2 shake mills, they were abandoned. It was really weird. I gotta draw a picture of it sometime. The girl that lived next to me, her name was Alice, and she had a hole in her back. I don't know what that was all about, but fascinating little neighborhood. We lived on a river. I digress. We lived on a river, and caught crawdads. Fourth grade, first time I'd ever seen a crawdad. Built a treehouse in the river. It was really fucking cool. Well, they were building it when I moved it in, but I was a little bit bossy and I love to work, and so I think I was just streamlining and hey, we can do like. I'm not really bossy. I'm actually not bossy at all. I just will not suffer a foolish plan. That's it. I don't think anybody's foolish, but I just will not follow a foolish plan. I just will not follow. I will not. You cannot drag me. You cannot hold a gun to my head. And that's kind of what's going on in the world. Like, really, to be honest, I'm not trying to be like that because I know I'm from, mom from Seattle. But the thing is that I did raise a whole bunch of people, and they're all good people. And they weren't all mine, but they were all my responsibility. And I stepped up and met my responsibilities, even though I had a horrific childhood in a lot of ways, and my parents killed themselves, and I had a nervous breakdown at 40 and tried to burn my life to the ground. I kept my grip on life and most of my sanity and my resolve and my commitment because of them, And to the it's hard for me to say because I, didn't grow up to think of. I just this is very uncomfortable for me, but feel like my dad's going to come out of the grave and make fun of me or smack me. But, it's, um, I think that viewed from the outside, it's extraordinary, that, and I think I do the universe a discredit when I don't see it that way because I didn't do it by myself. I didn't crawl back by myself. I know I didn't. I absolutely know I didn't. There's absolutely no way. I didn't even get back up by myself. And then once I got back up, I kind of was like nudged and pushed and guided, and somebody was just coming along, guiding me to the right thing that I needed to hear. And then there were all these people, on YouTube and audiobooks and whatnot. And all the universities putting their lectures. I'm like, God, I mean, we live in an extraordinary time. I mean, we do, and we're blowing it. Okay, we're blowing it because if we don't get our shit together, people, we're gonna lose the internet. I know that sounds like crazy, but it's actually true. It really is. I'm telling you, because our infrastructure is going to start to fail because we don't, not enough of us know how to do anything, and we're all being assholes. Like I said, we're being irresponsible, and we're not learning, and we're not holding each other's standards. And we're not being honest. We're not vetting. I mean, we're really going the wrong way, and it doesn't matter, and it's absolutely not going to matter in the final analysis who sinned more. We're all going to fucking crash together. First the internet and then us. Power and everything. So we have made some messes. We've created some turbulence for ourselves. I had created a lot of turbulence for myself. I still had to go through it. Okay. But when I went through it with grace and dignity, some of it borrowed, and some good cheer, and with a purpose and willingly, I was going through it with my head up, my chin up, going, I'm doing this because I am not going to fail my kids. I'm not going to be that parent. Just not going to do it. I don't care what it takes. I'm not going to go out like my parents and let all of that shit come sliding down on my kids. Because then all that karmic weight that I had been, unknowingly trying to hold back, which you can't really do. You literally have to untangle it. You have to free it. You have to do the work to free it. But I didn't know that at the time. I was just holding it. Well, no wonder my strength gave out. There was generations of karmic bullshit that I was determined, and I wore my body down. I just, wore my body all the way down into the ground. So, I'm absolutely 100% positive that it can heal, but it won't until I'm happy, and I won't be happy until I know that I've done what I can do, everything I can do. That's it, and it's not like what I want. It doesn't have anything to do with what I want to do, because what I want to do is I want to do the most that I can do, because that's self-respect. My self-respect tells me that I give back. I was lifted, I was saved, and I was loved, and I was restored. So you don't keep that. If you keep that, then you're not the kind of person that can be restored. You know what I mean? Once you're restored, you're like, you know better. And you just look out in the world, and everybody you see is so precious and so beautiful and so worthy of everything that there is, So you just want that for them. I want that for everybody that I see. And it's actually very painful to feel that way and not be able to do anything about people's suffering. So you have to bear up under that, because otherwise it'll crush you, it'll distract you, it'll divert you, it'll cause you to do some dumb shit just to get away from that feeling. I did that a lot, and it'll also cause you to drop your boundaries and make bad decisions. And when you make bad decisions and you make yourself wobble, then you can't do the good things that you know need to be done. So, my blathering mouth. I'm about to run out of time on my phone because I'm a technology idiot. I can't figure out how to get one. Anyway, I just need to hire somebody. This is all I'm trying to say. We have this backwards, upside down, and inside out. We really, truly do. We're living in an astounding time. People are fucking amazing, and we're just looking at it wrong, and we're saying it wrong, and we're doing it wrong because we don't know. It's not because we're bad. We're really not assholes. I was being facetious. We're just misguided. We're confused, and we're a little arrogant, because we're just marching on as if we got this, even though the whole every bit of evidence we can see is telling us, danger, Will Robinson, there's a fucking iceberg ahead, and we're just full steam ahead, you know? Okay, Captain, like, man the lifeboats, like, seriously, we, obviously, come on now. Let's just admit it. And this is the thing. Once we have some self-respect, we can admit it, because when you have self-respect, you feel capable. You know you're capable. You're able to respond to a situation. So if we take responsibility and we become capable, then we will be able to see the full scope of the problem. Otherwise, we won't see it, because we won't let ourselves see it, because we don't want to go bonkers, right? You're not going to be checking out, delving into things that, it's just not the way we work. You're not going to sit and ponder something that you have no hope of being able to resolve. So the idea is, get above the problem. Just get above the problem, and then the solution, you'll look, I think of it as a hot air balloon. Picture yourself going up in a hot air balloon. The higher you go, the more you see. So just start chopping off those fucking sandbags every chance you get, just every time you are triggered, face it, look at it, figure out where the broken tender spot is, and look at that again from this perspective. Look at it with new eyes and wise eyes and with empowerment, because you weren't as strong then when that happened, when the experience that caused you to be triggered, because we get imprinted when our nervous system is imposed upon, so to the extent where we have to, it's almost like it's a shock to our system when we are forced to bear up under something so uncomfortable, so awful for us, that just feels just eh, you know and then there are several layers, and if it gets layered on, and it can really leave a very dark, deep gash. But the thing is, if you are approaching all of these things as, where is the little bastard? I'm going to find that little bastard, because that bastard's standing in the way of me becoming my best and happiest and most useful self. Because I love you, Jordan Peterson. I adore you. You saved my life 1,000 times over, but you're wrong about life. It's not suffering. It isn't. It really isn't. And that's why, your health has been kicking your ass, because this is the problem. When you say things like that, you are basically saying that life is a struggle, and you're basically telling yourself that you can't handle it. And then you're also kind of telling the universe and whatever the powers that be that you're not grateful and that you're not capable. And we're getting in this big feedback loop where we're not confirming life. What we're doing is the opposite. We're basically saying that we don't value our life. And when you say that, when you say it, in by word or by deed, when you say, I don't value my life, because you don't take care of yourself, do you disrespect yourself, self-respect. So when you do that, then on some level, there's like a little switch, and it gets flicked, and then you're in the doesn't value life mode, and then you start to devolve, you start to die, you start to go down, because why would you be going up if you don't value life, if you're not, vital and engaged? So we just don't know that all those systems are working, because we don't have the energy to, thank God, we're not focused on all those things, but all those things are going on. And it doesn't take very much research on your own, go check it out. You can look on my YouTube, and I have all those, playlists and videos, that everything that I've used to learn this is between Audibles and YouTube. And I literally just learned how to get off all those drugs and take my own body and life in my hands. And I wouldn't go back for anything, because I have self-respect, I have dignity, and I have capacity, and that's really all I need to contribute. And that's all any of us needs, to be happy. We won't be happy if we don't. We won't be happy if we're failing to live up to our potential. We just won't. We'll punish ourselves, and we will start to die, and we will not care for our young, and we're just not as human. That's all. We're just not as human. We need to become incrementally more human and stop hurting each other's nervous systems and imposing upon them. Okay? Just think about it. Promise it'd be a rosier day in 6 months. I love you.